John Weber is I liked him.
Oh, you should. I hope you do.
He's flawed.
Yeah. He's as one of the characters says, you know, if there's a hero in this story, he's it. You know, it's told from a multi-person point of view, and so the perspectives keep changing. And I'm not bold enough yet to attempt sort of an entire book from a male point of view, but I really tried to make John Weber a believable, real male character, and I did want him flawed. The women are all quite flawed, but I know, you know, I understand women better. But I tried to get inside the head of this man who's, you know, past his prime. He's fallible. He's you know, he's a little overweight. He's a little slower. And, you know, he's never really been tested. He's in a unhappy marriage. He's got this anorexic daughter. He's got a fairly shrewish wife, and he plays around. I mean, he hasn't been the model husband. You know, he's had affairs, and so he's very definitely a flawed man, but he is a very likable man.
The killer talks to us or writes in a journal right from the beginning, and it's a creepy voice.
Yes.
Was that creepy to write?
It was fun to write, you know. It's always fun to get into the head of somebody who's not quite right and try to get a finger on that logic, that twisted logic.
Because it makes complete sense to the killer.
Oh, yes.
Everything the killer does.
Absolutely.
It's like this. It's a natural consequence.
That's right.
It's not my fault. I'm just doing these things because
I have to.
Yeah.
And because these people are deserving of their fate, and because I've been put upon, and all these things. But I think that's sort of the rationale of a lot of killers. You know, nobody ever, especially a true sociopath who is, you know, a real narcissist in general, and just, you know, really only sees things from their particular point of view, and has no real empathy other than, you know, just if they're sensitive at all, it's about themselves and not with regard to anybody else. So this sort of person always has explanations for why they do things, and it's always everybody else's fault. It
must have been intriguing to get all these characters together, because they're so diverse, and there's the goth kid, and there are soccer moms.
Yeah.
Horny soccer moms, too. And it deals with, you know, every generation seems uncomfortable about the sexuality of the other ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. You know, children, parents are all often squeamish about their children's sexuality. You know, I occasionally have to say to my daughter, you know, we're not girlfriends here. You know, don't tell me this. And certainly children would rather, you know, not think their parents have ever had sex.
Mine only did twice, and my brother was born. And I think that they learned their mistake there.
Right. So, you know, and then everybody else is very curious about it. You're talking about a sort of conservative little town in Florida, and there's only 4,000 people, so everybody does know everybody's business. But it was really fun writing from all the different points of view, because I was able to talk about, you know, the sheriff, and then the couple of teenage boys, and a couple of teenage girls, as you say, the soccer mom, just the different voices, and let me explore the different generations, the different sexes, and try to get at what was going on from all these different points of view, while at the same time keeping the action front and center, and constantly moving the plot forward. You know, because I can't stand books where when you switch point of view, everything just comes to a standstill, and you're basically back at square one, or nothing happens and I think in Heartstopper, you're almost not aware that the voice has shifted from chapter to chapter. At least I hope you're not. It's because it's always in furtherance of the plot, and so the plot never stops, and it just becomes told from and seen from another perspective.
And we've got a fat girl, a skinny girl,
yes,
and then the perfect girl.
And the Heartstoppers.
Yeah, the Heartstoppers.
Yes.
Hence the title.
Yeah, it was, the title sort of came about because my older daughter was visiting us in Florida once. Well, she comes there frequently, but she was there one particular time. We went to a yoga class, and when the class was over, one of the older men in the class came over to me and said, "Oh, your daughter, she's a real heartstopper." And I thought, oh, what a great title for a book. So, of course, I filed it away, and then as soon as I thought of an idea that I thought, oh, Heartstopper works perfectly, because, of course, it works on the two levels. The girls who are these beautiful young women who do, who do fulfill the current ideal of what, a beautiful young woman is, and then the killer who is the literal Heartstopper, who, is just in the business of, quite literally stopping hearts.
The book is Heartstopper. I've been speaking with the novelist Joy Fielding, and Heartstopper, published by Doubleday Canada.